Hello, welcome back to Reading Success Academy. I'm Paula Smith. In this lesson, we're going to be working with some third grade level words. These words are pretty challenging. They're multi-syllable words with special endings. Special endings are parts of words that are put on the end that have a lot of letters that don't sound out just right. So it's not like a suffix. Maybe I shouldn't have said put it on the end, but they're just spelled with a group of letters that you'll see in a lot of different words, but they don't sound out phonetically, so it makes them a little bit more of a challenge. Plus, the size of the word sometimes intimidates kiddos. So I'm going to step through how I would go through this lesson, and we'll do a few words together, and then if you'd like to see the rest of the spelling list and the worksheets that go with it, make sure you send me a message and I'll be happy to send those your way. All right, let's jump right into those. This is our special endings list, which we usually do later in the program. This is week 18. Now, these are the different special endings in this list. I don't know if we're going to get to all of them today, but we have a couple of them that are spelled similarly and they sound exactly the same. So this is shus, this is shus. Then we have shus spelled with SC down here. We have sha and ja, just a little difference in the pronunciation there. And we have chur. I would say chur and shun are the most common. I don't have shun words on here. That's just T-I-O-N, really super common. I wanted to put some of these other less frequent special endings up here so you can get some experience with those. Now we're going to be using a multi-sensory approach. We're going to be using our sense of touch, our hearing, and our sight all together, working together so that we can learn the information faster and retain it longer. We're also going to be breaking these words down into chunks. A chunk is part of a word that has one vowel sound in it. So as long as you have a vowel sound, you've got a chunk, even if it's just a vowel sound all by itself. All right, let's take a look at this first word, which is freesia. The special ending in this word is ja. It kind of has a ZH kind of sound to it at the beginning, ja. So once we see that, once we recognize that at the end as ja, we already have a lot of the word figured out. If we were to try and sound this one out, giving every single letter a different sound, we'd end up with Frisia, which isn't anything like freesia. So knowing how to pronounce those special endings is really important. So there's freesia, and what we want to look at in this word is, besides the special ending, which we've already identified here, usually I would identify it with a rectangle instead of an underline. Put a rectangle around that, and then I would group together anytime you have two or more letters working together to make one sound. We just say E here, just one long E sound, so we would group those together. So now we know we have a sound here, 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 and then we get to our special ending. Now, since there's a vowel sound here and there's a vowel sound in our special ending, this is going to be a two-chunk word. And I show chunks by drawing a line between them like that. So when it's time to spell this word, we're going to break it into chunks. So if you're doing this on paper at home, you would be putting this in your SIA column. And you can see all of these lessons at spellingclasses.com. There we go. And we'll say each sound as we write the letters, but we're going to focus on one chunk at a time. So the word is freesia. So we'll break it into free and then ja. And we're just going to say free first. Free. F, R, E. Holding that E sound while you write both of those letters. Group them together. Then you'll put an I stop right here. It just helps break the word up so you're not trying to focus on the whole word at once. You've got one part of the word at a time that you're going to study, and you're not going to try and overwhelm yourself. Now, your ja, if you want, you can color code this. So you can put that in color. And you're just going to say ja and write the letters. You don't need to make a sound for each letter because it doesn't quite work out that way anyway. So I want you to just write ja Draw a rectangle around it. And now we know that after we have free done, if we know how to spell the ja, we are home free, right? Okay, sorry about that. So free ja makes it a lot easier to spell because we broke it into smaller pieces. All right, so there's free ja. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this before we go on. And now we have a shus at the end. Okay, so our word is fictitious, which is, it looks like a really long word, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these letters, we just say shus when we get there. So it makes it a little bit faster to spell and also faster to sound out if you can already identify that and know what to say when you get there. So we know this is shus. So if we were sounding this word out, we would start at the beginning, sound it out until we had a chunk, put a chunk line in, start sounding out on the other side of the chunk line, and go on from there. If you need a little bit more instruction on how to break down longer words into smaller chunks from the reading aspect, you want to make sure that you come back for my word attack lesson, which is going to be here probably about 20 minutes after I finish this one. We work with some advanced word attack skills in that class, and I model exactly how to do this for reading. But when we're spelling, we're breaking it apart into chunks, and then we break it down by the sounds. So in your TIOUS column, of course, you would label that with a different color. So I should probably grab a different one here, and we'll just put the label at the top. Okay, so we know this is a shus word, and it's fictitious. So we're going to do one chunk at a time. Our first chunk is fic, so we'll say f, I, k, fic. Put in our eye stopper, and then we need to listen for the next sound we hear, or the next chunk we hear in fictitious. Ficti, t is our next chunk. Say each sound as you write it. T, I. Put in our eye stopper. And then shus is our special ending. We'll switch colors, and we're just going to write shus. We're not going to say each sound as we write the letters here, which is something you don't hear me say very often. Most of the time you hear me say the sounds as you write the letters. But with shus, the sounds don't all match up. It's easier to just learn this whole spelling as shus. All right. We'll move on to another word. Okay, now we have chur for our special ending. So let's label a new column, grab a different color. Let's go with orange. I haven't used orange very often. Chur. So we'll label the column. And there's a lot of words that have chur in them. Capture is one of the easier ones, because at this stage, by a 3rd grade level, you probably already can spell cap by yourself, right? So now do you see how knowing the special ending is going to help speed up your spelling and your reading? It speeds it up a lot. This is a super shortcut. So once you know chur, this one's pretty much already done for you. So you break it into chunks. Cap, k, a, p. Put in your eye stopper, and then say your special ending, chur. And then just write the letters down. And you'll want to put a rectangle around it so you remember where that special ending starts and ends. And now it looks super easy to spell, doesn't it? Isn't that nice? I love it. Love special endings. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Oh, we have lost our memory. We have amnesia now. So we have another ja word. So you put that in your SIA column. Break it down by chunks. You would say am, a, ni, n, e. Putting your eye stoppers in as you go. And then write ja and jot those letters down. Let's go to a special ending we haven't had yet. Okay, we haven't had this spelling yet. Now, when we look at this special ending, once we can identify what that is, we already know it. That makes this word super easy to read, right? because we just have k, n, con, and then stick on your shus, conscious. Easy peasy. Now we're going to put this in a different column than our TIOUS word. So you'll label this one SCIOUS. There are not a lot of words that have this spelling, by the way. In fact, if there's more than one other one, I would be really surprised. Okay, you'll go to your regular pencil for that first chunk. You're going to say the chunk, then say the sounds in it. Con, k, n. Put in your eye stopper, go to your color, and then just say shus and write them all down. And draw your rectangle around it. Conscious. You are alert, aware, you know what's going on, you are conscious of everything. Let's see if I can leave that one on there. Okay, now we have precious. It's very similar to the last one we did, but this one's more common. You will see CIOUS words a lot more often than you will see SCIOUS. So get used to seeing this one and TIOUS like we had in fictitious. Those two shusses you'll have in more words than in the SCIOUS. So you'll make a new column. For CIOUS, I guess I'll use yellow. Shus. And what you'll notice is that you're seeing OUS in all of these. You're also noticing the I in all of those shus spellings. So it'll start to be a familiar grouping for you. Now, technically, you can sound out the special ending because you have CI for a sh sound, like in the word special, and OU makes an sound in a lot of words like rough and tough, and at the end of a lot of adjectives like dangerous. So technically you can sound this one out, but if you can recognize this whole chunk at the very end as shus right away, then you don't have to go through all that sounding out. All right, so let's do precious. We need to start out with a pencil first. Pre is our first chunk. P, r, e. Make sure you're saying the sounds as you go on this part of it. Put in your eye stopper and switch to your next color and say shus. And jot them all down. And then you'll add your rectangle around it. Precious. Now, if I hadn't broken it up for you, you would maybe look at this word and think, wow, that's a long word, or that's a hard word. But once you know how to spell shus and you know it gets the C instead of a T or instead of a SC, you're good to go. You can use this spelling of shus for a lot of words. All right, let's see if we've got some more in here that we can try. Okay, there's another chur word, gesture. And then we have another chur word, future. And then another shus word, delicious. And feature. A lot of chur words in here. They're very common. Now, when you do feature, you're going to put this, of course, in your TURE column. But you're going to want to group together these two letters because they make one sound together. So this is that multi-syllable breaking down strategy that we use, and especially in the advanced decoding classes that I have and in my next live session today. So you have chur, we know that is going to be at the end. We're starting with the end in mind, always looking for those special endings first. Then the next thing we do is look for two or more letters that make one sound. We'll group those together. And now this makes it pretty easy to sound out, right? E, fee, and then chur, feature. You always want to try a long E sound first when you see EA in a word. That's what it is more than any of the other sounds. It can be E, it can be A, it can be eh. But most of the time, I would say in more words, it's an E sound than it is an A or an eh. It can be A like in break and great, and it can be A like in bread. All right, so add that one to your list. And I'm gonna hop off of here now. I think that's a pretty good sampling of some of those multi-syllable words with special endings. and I have a whole list of them. They're pretty challenging for a 3rd grade level, so you would want to do this toward the end of your program, and maybe even take an extra week to work on those. I give a list every week, 25 words each week, but this one you might just go ahead and stretch it out a little bit more so that you have some more time to really master the spellings of each of those special endings. Because once you have those, you have a really powerful tool in your toolbox for reading longer words and spelling longer words. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. In just a few minutes, I'll be live again with a word attack practice. We'll have some vocabulary in that too. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you know when I go live next, and you can join me for that next lesson. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye.